Coast, evacuating low-lying homes as Hurricane Idalia churns towards the region.
It's also forecast to rapidly intensify into a major hurricane before it makes landfall early Wednesday morning.
Eric Blake with the National Hurricane Center. Idalia could make landfall as a Category 3 storm. Less than a year ago, Hurricane Ian hit the Gulf Coast, killing 150 people. Classes are canceled at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. A faculty member was shot and killed in a shooting yesterday, prompting a campus-wide lockdown. A suspect was arrested, but
at this time, we are not releasing the name of the suspect, as formal charges have not yet been filed.
That's UNC Chief of Police Brian James. A federal judge sets President Donald Trump's D.C. election conspiracy trial for March 4th, the day before Super Tuesday. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And a good Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. One day of this week it is. Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrows.
And this is going to be a long week.
Oh, it is.
I'm not even sure. Yesterday was only Monday. I think I went through 3 Mondays yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Seemed that way anyway. We'll get to it right away. Lots going on, lots local, lots statewide, some things we got to be concerned about this week, just a little bit. Hopefully not as bad as what it could be. Right now, we'll go to the tropics. There is a danger of life-threatening storm surge, inundation. This is straight from the National Hurricane Center, by the way. I don't talk like this. Along portions of the Florida Gulf Coast where a storm surge warning is in effect, including Tampa Bay region of Florida. Strong winds will also spread inland across portions of northern Florida near the track of the center of Idalia. Heavy rainfall is expected across portions of western Cuba and areas of flash and urban flooding, as well as landslides. Areas of flash and urban flooding, some of which may be locally significant, are expected across portions of the west coast of Florida, the Florida Panhandle, southern Georgia, beginning today into Wednesday, spreading into portions of the eastern Carolinas Wednesday into Thursday. Okay. That's what they're telling us from the National Hurricane Center, and yeah, it's looking kind of nasty out there. This storm Idalia is a hurricane now, will be a major hurricane probably by late tonight, early tomorrow morning. That means it will have winds of over 110 miles per hour. Right now, it has sustained winds of 75 miles per hour near the center. It's on a northerly course. It's going to be changing around to the northeast, and then to the northeast, and then eventually over the next few days to the east. What that means for us, if this storm goes on the predicted path, is that tomorrow we should start seeing some impacts from this storm, some nasty weather, because it will still be a hurricane. It will be then on the Georgia-Florida border. Then it's going to continue towards the northeast, taking a harder turn towards the northeast. And by 1 o'clock Thursday morning, late tomorrow night, early Thursday, it should be in the Charleston area as a tropical storm. Don't know the wind intensity at that time. Depends upon how much it loses going across Florida and into Georgia and across the state of Georgia. Inland. That's the interesting thing. Then by 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon, it will be right directly over the Cape Fear region if all the forecasts remain accurate, and as a tropical storm. The good thing there is it's turning toward the east at that time. That means that the Onslow County area, Onslow Bay, that's from Cape Fear to Cape Lookout, will be on the least worst side of the hurricane, tropical storm at that time. Yeah. It will continue moving east, picking up forward speed, and the forecast track is kind of really weird because it's going to move eastward, then turn around to go to the east-southeast, and then to the southeast, and it looks like the possibility of doing a loop-de-loop is out there.
I saw
Now,
that.
what's going to happen at that time? We don't know. They don't know, obviously, or they would put it out. But that's where we are. We should not have too much of an impact, at least by the first pass of this storm. Hopefully, it will be the only pass. But we'll all have to take necessary precautions. There will be rain. There will be big waves, and for a couple reasons, because there's another thing out there called a super hurricane. It's going to have winds potentially as high as 155 miles per hour. That's where Andrew was back in the early 90s. Right now, it has sustained winds. It's called Franklin of 140 miles per hour. That's a big storm.
Well, what if this one merges with Franklin?
They'll blow up.
We
The
talked
earth will
about
go
that
away.
yesterday.
It'll be like a
There won't
super
be- there
hurricane.
won't
I
be
didn't know what that'd
anything
even
left.
called.
Yeah, everything. Anyway,
Because
it's
they're right near each other.
yep. Well, they're about 500-600 miles apart. Will be at the closest point.
That's not far.
Yeah, well, they've got lots of warnings out there for Bermuda, of course, because Bermuda is going to be on the bad side of this storm.
Mhm.
It is now a major hurricane, of course. By probably tomorrow afternoon, it will diminish, maybe lower than 110 miles per hour and become just a hurricane, and will remain that way through towards the weekend. And by the end of the weekend, Sunday, it'll be way up in the North Atlantic, impacting nothing up that way, and will become a tropical storm once again, probably a subtropical when it actually gets there. That's what it's looking like in the tropics right now, except for two others that are out there. Two other X's have shown up on the National Hurricane Center's charts. Neither one of them have much of a chance of forming into anything. So until there's more development, we'll just stay away from that.
Well,
That's the good news.
Don't we have a king tide coming in today?
I've never
I
met
haven't heard anything about a king tide
King
coming.
tide.
Yeah. I heard them
The heck
talking
is
about
that?
it the last couple of days about, I think today the king tide was supposed to be coming in.
Do we have a full moon?
I saw full moon last
Yes.
night. It looked
Yes.
full
Yes.
last
Well,
night.
then
Yeah.
we will have one.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was trying to take a picture of it driving home from work.
Driving home, you were trying to take
Well, I
a
was at the
picture.
light, but these clouds, like in
Oh,
Halloween
I know.
photos, how
It's-
the little clouds go in
it's
front
pretty
of the
cool
moon.
when it happens.
It looked cool from the eye.
But you didn't have
put
a
your camera
camera.
up there. I had my phone camera.
That's not a camera.
No, and it didn't have the same effect as if when I was just seeing it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
wasn't. I need to keep a camera in my
You
car.
keep a real camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, traffic yesterday going to and from Wilmington was not nearly as bad as it was a week ago. I don't know what the difference is. Is it just Monday, or did we go a little bit earlier, which we did? We came home about an hour earlier, and I actually was able to make it without any issues.
That's good.
Not much traffic.
Mhm.
Well, there was significant traffic, but that is typical Wilmington, not that super traffic thing,
Mhm.
and not a king traffic day.
That's good.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I actually was able to drive. It took an hour and 45 minutes, I guess it was, to make it to my 70 miles away, because I took the interstate as soon as I could. And yes, the bypass will be finished at some point in time, probably after I'm gone, and we'll come out just on the north side of Hampstead. So we'll be able to bypass Hampstead and all the mess in between there and wherever to get to wherever we need to go. But by that time, as slow as they move, I probably won't need to go there. So whatever. Hopefully not anyway. That's the stuff from the tropics. And but you guys, all of this can change. It changed yesterday with Idalia, because it looked like Idalia was probably not going to impact us as much as it did the day before. And now it's back to sort of on the original track. A little jog, one way or the other, 2 or 3, 4 degrees off the predicted path will make a huge difference. As far out as it is now, for those of you who have ever shot rifles, you put a scope on one and you move that thing, if I don't know, 300 meters, 350 yards or whatever, you move that barrel just a little tiny bit, like 1 degree, you're going to miss the whole target.
Well, remember that's what happened. Was it Hurricane Ian last year?
Yeah.
It did not. It came ashore far different from where they said it was
Uh-huh.
going to.
Yep. And this one could too.
Yeah.
If this one takes a jog to the right, we'll be in great shape. If it takes a jog to the left a little bit, we could be hurting. If it straightens up its path, we could be hurting.
Yep.
If it turns to the east a little bit sooner, we'll be in great shape.
Mhm.
But there is that possibility. Pretty good on Franklin. That one's probably going to have nothing but some big waves, and that's going to happen today and tomorrow as this thing moves up and beyond our.
I saw the red flags are already out on
They should be.
Emerald,
So
Atlantic Beach.
folks do not get out there because the waves are going to be huge and they're going to be getting huger, and you all just need to be careful.
I hope it don't come out there off our shore, loop around, and come back.
That's ours.
I'm-
Dahlia is the one that looks like it's.
I'm
gonna
talking
be
about.
more trouble.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about poor Franklin. I
Franklin.
just don't want Franklin to merge with the Dahlia.
Well,
That'd be like a
they'll
superstorm.
probably just fight each other.
Hmm.
Which
I was watching a video earlier, a documentary
Create
on
the
that.
perfect storm.
It said it would increase winds and
Yeah.
rainfall.
Yeah, it would.
mhm.
I'm like,
So by 1:00 Friday morning, Adelia will be east of Cape Hatteras. I can't tell what the chart says here. Probably 200 miles. That's offshore, but at that point, time to Franklin will be out of here. Franklin won't be in our picture at all. So that's the good thing. Franklin by 2:00 Friday morning will be way up there off New England and Canada, and way offshore, impacting nothing.
It's like headed towards Greenland.
But then it's going to be a tropical storm or subtropical.
It's cold up there. Yeah.
Subtropical likely. So anyway, it should be okay. What else is going on? How about let's go to Chapel Hill? My
Yeah.
oh,
God.
that was crazy.
What a
yesterday.
mess.
It's a mess because we don't know nothing about nothing, honey.
No.
You know that? The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill was locked down yesterday for about 2 hours. Reports of shots fired on the campus cleared to resume normal activities after one person was taken into custody for shooting and killing a faculty member. Started about 1:00 yesterday afternoon, the school sent out an alert saying emergency, armed, dangerous person on or near the campus, go inside now, avoid windows. Well, that's got to make you jump up and down on the first day of school or
Mhm.
close to the beginning of the school year, especially if you're a freshman. How about if you're the parents of these kids you
I
just
think
dropped
they
off?
said they were in day number 6.
No.
It's crazy.
Oh, my. Massive presence of police, of course, and emergency vehicles near the Caudle Labs building there on the South Road at UNC. For those of you who are alumni or parents of or whatever, earlier reports that one person was in custody, but at 2:35, UNC police released an image of an Asian man in a gray shirt who was identified as a person of interest. Now, help me out here, ladies. They got this picture. They released it right up front.
Yes.
They hadn't found the dude.
Right.
Does that look like a mugshot?
No.
It looks like a student ID.
Yes. Well, they showed on the news channel I was watching, they showed him in handcuffs.
Well, it got him.
And they got him, but they're still not releasing his name.
They already said it. I saw it online.
Yeah, it said it all over the news.
Everybody
but
else has said it, but
Yeah.
the
But
police have not
the
released
police
it.
are not
Yeah.
releasing his
And
name
they
yet.
have not released the name of the victim, the
No,
faculty
they have
member,
not.
nor the circumstances. Now,
Sounds like to me it was targeted, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Now, help me out here, and I'm not going to do the race card. How many times have we seen this? But if this had been a
Becoming
white
too
Gale,
frequent.
a white
Yes.
guy armed with an AR-15, that had his background and everything else,
Right.
and that he was a member of the right-wing and he was probably a Republican. I mean, this is the way the media would go with
Yes.
this, right?
Well, the news station, the one I was watching, already had his Facebook up on the screen. They were going through his Facebook, his Twitter accounts, and really didn't find anything.
Is he a student?
Yes, they said he was.
Now, I
Or he
heard,
had been.
yeah, one news report said that he's a former student.
Yep.
Another news report said he was a student. So,
But they knew him, obviously.
yes.
Oh, some students that were interviewed had been in class with him at a lab.
They
But he's not,
identified him.
I don't think he's an American citizen based on something I read.
I got so many problems.
Because he went to Wuhan University at
Oh,
some
really?
point. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They were reading his bio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, special.
Yeah. He went to LSU, Chapel Hill, and he'd also attended Wuhan University.
So he had been to 3 different places.
He's, like I said, one of the reports said he is not an American citizen.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
which brings to mind, and I know that there are so many Americans who are trying to get into college, and there's not enough room for everybody who wants to be in college, right? So they move the standards up. But then we've got foreign nationals, foreign students who can get into our college system from countries all over the world. Does anybody else have a problem with this? When
Well,
are we going to take care of our own?
Well, some of them come in on exchange programs.
I understand that. So what? What about exchange programs?
So, like Americans go overseas to college,
Uh-huh.
usually for a semester. Now, some come here and do all 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But like my daughter participated. She went to England
Mm-hmm.
and she went to Manchester University.
Anybody go to Wuhan that you know of?
No, but I do know China was on the list when we had the
Uh-huh.
parent meeting. Now that was like 2018, but still 2017, whenever it was.
And then
2017.
what happened 2 years later?
But my daughter was determined to go to England. That had been her lifelong dream.
Mm.
So she went to England. But they had all over. But I noticed yesterday in the interview, there was a kid from Denmark that was at UNC. He'd been here 2 weeks. He was worried that his program was going to make him go back. He said he liked it here.
Well, I'm sure they do.
Yeah. But he's like, I like it here. He said, I'm worried they're going to make us come back because of this.
Yeah. Well,
He can't
you
blame.
never
He
know.
says, we don't have this over there. Well, no, but y'all have machete attacks. So there's that. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, and I don't know of any gun attacks. And where did this guy get a gun?
It's a good question.
Answer me that. Where did the guy in Jacksonville, Florida, get a gun or 2? I mean, he had a criminal history. He was a convicted felon. And he had a gun.
I'm sure
If
that gun
not
was
2.
stolen. Come on now. Yeah.
And did you see what was written on
I
that gun?
saw it. Yes, I did.
Had the swastika
And the
on it.
swastika, I sure did. Yes.
Talk about a right-wing radical.
Much,
Mhm.
much. Yeah.
Adolf, here we come.
Yep. We have some of those here in
So what-
Jacksonville.
Yeah, I know. What are we doing about all of this? We're still letting them come across the border. This was homegrown. That not the guy at Chapel Hill, but the other one was
Mhm.
homegrown.
Yeah.
But look at the ones that we've got coming across the border on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Where do they get their guns when they get here? Because we know that they do, because we have seen reports of it, including the one in San Francisco, was it, that killed the girl at the fishing pier? Or the observation pier,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
they called
I
it.
know what you're talking
A
about.
few years
Yeah.
back. But
Yeah.
where did he get a gun? How did he get a gun?
I thought they said that gun was stolen.
Oh, they all are.
Yeah.
Most of them are
Yeah.
going to be stolen
Yeah.
or had been previously stolen and were sold by the underground, the crooks out there, or traded for drugs, whatever. They're attacking the NRA, but not the right people. There are other places that need to be attacked, including our government.
Mhm.
They're the ones who are not stopping the traffickers, human and drugs, from coming into this country. Our government is totally
Yeah.
100% responsible for it. But did you see where the governor, what state was it? Oh, yeah, no, the mayor of Chicago. He's suing Kia and Hyundai
Why?
Why?
because there are so many cars that are being stolen in his city because he says Hyundai and a Kia no, Kia, not Kia. Hyundai and Kia are not safeguarding the cars so they can be stolen easier. So he's not blaming the crooks.
You are kidding.
No,
me right
I
now.
am not kidding
He
you.
needs to get a grip. Oh, that's ridiculous. They're being stolen all over the country.
Yes, but some models of Kias and Hyundais, according to this mayor of Chicago, the crime central of the world, they don't have all of the safeguards to prevent thieves from getting into them. as
Nobody
other
has a
cars do.
safeguard that can prevent. They can maybe deter.
You know
I
how
can
long
go
it-
out there and kick in your window right now and get in your
Yes,
car.
You can. Yes, you can. That's not what they're doing. They're easy to pick the locks.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But I mean, that's ridiculous to attack the car maker.
So let's sue the
Well-
car maker.
Well,
Oh,
why is it not
It's
ridiculous
ridiculous.
to attack gun manufacturers?
It is ridiculous to attack the gun
and
manufacturer.
The NRA, who supports
Yeah.
the Constitution.
And I agree. Go after the criminals doing it. Don't go after the tools used
Yeah.
or the tool stolen.
I'm just, you get perplexed by reading the news. And I spent too much time last night when I got back from Wilmington, too much time watching this stuff as it unfolded. And I'm like, really? Where did we go wrong? I can tell you where we went wrong. At every election, we've gone wrong.
Well, now the
It's going to get worse.
lawmakers, but luckily, I think there's enough some calm heads currently in our state legislature that will not allow crazy bans to happen. Let's hope anyway.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're in another election cycle. Campaigns
know.
are underway, and we'll see what happens. Let's take a break, do a little bit of weather. We'll be back on the flip side. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise and the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback. And by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands at Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other state government discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for summer, and you should be too, with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. These lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Each machine features a strong deck with a variety of sizes available, designed to deliver a premium cut. An assortment of attachments and accessories, sold separately, allow you to use your mower for more than just cutting grass. Stop by Mills International Incorporated today and find out how the Cub Cadet XT Endurance Series is tailored to help unlock all the possibilities of your lawn. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street for exceptional offers, expert advice, and superior service.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
C&S Paint, Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957, with 3 locations serving the Crystal Coast, has everything you need from brushes to Olympic stain and quality Benjamin Moore paint. Benjamin Moore offers unmatched color and durability, so the color will last for years to come. Whether a do-it-yourselfer or paint contractor, when you shop CNS Paint Center with 3 locations, you're not just improving your home or construction site, you're supporting a local business too. CNS Paint Center, Olympic Stain, and Benjamin Moore. Paint for everything that matters. CNS Paint Center, 105 Wayne Drive, Morehead City, 6 Doris Avenue, Jacksonville, and 504 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point. CNS Paint, phone 910-455-0210. Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax. We're on the way.
It's not for everyone, only for you. The medication your doctor prescribes is exclusively yours to take as directed. Nobody else should be taking it. It's up to you to keep your medication secure and to safely dispose of any unused medications. Don't let anyone take what's yours. Your prescription, your responsibility. Be aware, don't share. Lock your meds.
Supported by NCDHHS, Division of Mental Health, Developmental Disabilities, and Substance Abuse Services. Visit lockyourmeds.org/NC.
If you're looking for a great deal on a brand new Mitsubishi pre-owned car or truck, look no further than Bob Mills Mitsubishi, 2150 North Marine Boulevard. Because at Bob Mills Mitsubishi, they give it away and guarantee all their customers financing. At Bob Mills, there is no high pressure, no smoke and mirrors, or running back and forth to a sales manager. Buying a new Mitsubishi or quality pre-owned car or truck should be a fun experience, and that's what you'll have at Bob Mills Mitsubishi, 2150 North Marine Boulevard in Jacksonville. Because it away.
It's live and local. Real talk on Free 1.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Front will meander around the region through midweek. That's like tomorrow and Thursday, and produce wet, unsettled weather across eastern North Carolina. Seas will build due to long period swell from distant Hurricane Franklin. It's way out there, but it is out there, and those waves generate from hundreds of miles offshore and then make their way to our coastline. Hurricane Idalia may impact the area mid to late week, probably beginning tomorrow, and bringing the potential for heavy rain, gusty winds, and marine and coastal impacts. High pressure will build in from the west later in this week into the weekend. Before the week's end, we should be given the all clear, and that's when you should be heading down to Tideline Marine for all of your fishing and boating needs and your wants. Tideline is your one-stop shopping opportunity in Jacksonville. With Service Marina, a ship store, and a repair center for Yamaha, Mercury, along with the Johnson and Evinrude outboard engines, Tideline is standing by to serve you. If your old outboard just doesn't have the get up and go that it did at one time, now might be the perfect time to start planning to repower your boat. Of course, if you want to upgrade to a larger boat or even downsize, Tideline has a line of Aloha Tri-Tune pontoon style boats, some nearshore and offshore center console aqua sports, along with the famous Lund aluminum fishing boats. The only thing missing is you at the helm doing what you like to do the way you like to do it. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Don't forget, if you've been thinking of adding a trolling motor to your boat, or you got to replace that old one that just doesn't get up and go anymore, any Minn Kota trolling motor in stock is yours at a savings of $100 until the end of August, and today's the 29th. Small craft advisory is in effect from today through tomorrow evening. That's likely going to become a warning Wednesday night or Thursday at the latest. Northerly winds 5 to 10 knots offshore today, becoming southeasterly this afternoon. Seas 5 to 8 feet, 4 to 6 near shore. dominant period 12 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, seas 4 to 6, dominant period 12 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Thursday, the only thing I can tell you is tropical storms are likely going to be in effect.
Yes, today, partly sunny, high of 90, but it's going to be hot out there with the heat index as high as 101. So please take care if you're out and about, and give your pets some water, and don't have, elderly out in the day, that kind of thing.
Do what?
Tonight, that's you, Rayford.
You
Tonight,
can't go out.
mostly
stay
cloudy, low
inside.
of 74. Yeah, you have to stay in today. It's
feel
going to be too
hurt.
hot for you. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high of 85. And it's going to start raining tomorrow, 70% chance. So that means it's going to rain. Tomorrow night, the rain really kicks in, 3 to 4 inches of rain possible. Gusty winds, it says 16 miles an hour, but I suspect it'll be a little more. Low of 72. Thursday, it's just going to be a terrible day. Showers, thunderstorms. I'm laughing at this. Gusts as high as 33. And another 1 to 2 inches of rain possible. Then Thursday night, more of the same with a low of 65. But then Friday, it all goes away, we hope. Sunny, high of 80.
Yeah.
And the weekend looks amazing.
Yeah.
No rain.
Scary thing is that the potential track of Idalia
Yeah.
offshore.
Yeah.
Once it gets out there 200 or
We'll
300
see.
miles, it's going to go down to the
Let's hope it don't
southeast.
loop-de-loop.
What is that about?
It's gonna
That's
loop
just
around.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Well, we've seen that before.
I know we have. I was sitting there trying to think earlier which hurricane was it. I cannot
Well,
remember.
the man that would know
Our-
is here in
well,
our studio
Yeah.
now.
I remember Diana back in 1984 did several loop-de-loops out
Yes.
there
We've had some
off of
loopy-loops.
the southern part of our state. Storm and Norman.
Good morning.
Storm
How are
and
you?
Norman.
I'm good.
Norman Bryson from the.
Why do you do that to him?
What?
Storm and Norman.
Well, that's when he
Well,
comes in and tells us all the
That's
things that are
true.
going to scare
That's
us,
true.
right?
He is the one to hear from.
You know, this is my favorite time of year, but not hurricane season. I mean, the fall's coming. That's my
Yeah.
favorite time of
Yes.
year.
Yeah.
Fall fishing
Yes.
is great. And right
I
now, the
agree.
fish are going to wash up on the shoreline, maybe. They did that in, what was it, Florence? And they did it on I-40 back in
I remember that was at
early 2000s, I think it was. One of the storms up there, they had actually up near Burgaw, they had fish in the road.
Wouldn't that have been about 99 with Floyd?
It could have been 99, somewhere along that time.
So since we talk about 99 and Floyd, and you talked about the loop-de-loop, the one you're looking for is Dennis. That was in 99.
That's
Dennis
right.
that came
I
in
knew this one
and
had legs.
hit us and came back and got us again as a tropical storm.
Well,
That's what it
bless
was.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Go away. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Anyway, from emergency management standpoint, are we prepared? Are we good to go?
Yeah, we are. The good news with this storm for us now, not for Florida, is that as we see this, it's going to come across land. It's going to be a tropical storm as it gets up to our area, which means we're not dealing with the higher winds. Some of the bigger effects that we are looking for this is going to be, we're going to see a lot of rain, as we just heard. And that's, we're looking anywhere 5, maybe up to 8 inches.
Overall, yes.
Overall, over the next 2 days. And again, we were talking a little bit earlier here in Onslow County. That's a lot of rain, but we'll get some localized flooding. But we really don't see the heavy flooding that lasts for a little bit until we start getting into double digits. So, on Thursday, driving will be, watch where you're going.
Sloppy. Stay home.
Don't drive through high water. If roads are barricaded, please don't move the barricades out of the way and drive around them. There's a reason they're there.
We've seen that happen.
Yeah, we've seen that, yes.
The other big issue is going to be surf. We've got the storm's going to come in. It's going to create its own storm surge. We also have the king tide, the high moon, full moon, so surf is going to be pretty bad coming in on Thursday as well. So,
I know a lot of surfers are just like, let's go. Let me get out there.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Some of those guys, most of those guys do very well in surf, but this is going to be some surf that they probably have never seen before.
it is, it's not something that we see a lot of that's going to be out there. And, looking at some of the forecasts I looked at this morning, that we could be seeing 10 to 12 hours of tropical storm force winds. So that's 39 mile an hour winds and above for a sustained of 10 to 12 hours. So that is something that is, it's all going to play effects on the tides, and it would not be the time I would be out wanting to be out and be surfing.
Nope. And for you boaters out there, lock them down. Forget about it. And that should begin probably later today. Pull them out, down, secure them, do whatever you got to do.
Exactly. Keep getting the boats and stuff up out of the water. And this is a time I would also recommend to people to clean up your yards a little bit. Pick up some of the debris. Don't leave your umbrellas outside. Secure the trash cans. Anything that's light like that can blow around during these types of storms and stuff. We may see some power outages to trees coming down. That's to be expected with something along this lines. It is something significant. We may even see some. We have a higher potential for tornadoes.
Always.
But the good news is right now the forecast is keeping what would be the center of the storm off our coastline, which means we would not be in the right front quadrant of this storm system, which has had the higher prominence for having tornadoes.
Yeah. If it goes according to the track, the predicted
Correct.
track, then we will be on the good side of the storm, if there is a good side, but we will be on the less worse side of the storm, if nothing else. During the storm, we haven't had the opportunity to get Steve Goodson in here yet from Jones Onslow, but during the storm, a lot of folks are going to resort, if the power goes out, to their generators, their little pull the crank and hope it starts and all that sort of good stuff. And some of those folks are electrician wannabes. They'll put 2 male plugs on an extension cord and then run it into their house thinking they're going to power up their entire house. Bad.
Well, it is not what you want to do. Number one, if you're going to use a generator, you should have a transfer switch on the house.
Yep.
And part of the reason of that transfer switch is if you're just going to plug it into your electrical outlet in the house straight from the generator, you're back feeding the electricity and is going to feed out of the house back to the transformer, which will step it up. And if there are power lines down, firefighters out there, then you are creating a greater hazard. You're also creating a greater hazard on your house because that's not the way the power or electricity is supposed to flow. This is a point in time, yes, where our fire departments are often busy, but we'd like to keep them less busy than what we need them to be. So just cranking your generator, plugging directly into the house and one of your plugs to backfeed the house is not the way you need to power your home.
I'm glad you mentioned the transformer, because the transformer that they have on the poles out there comes in with, depends upon where you are, whatever the line voltage is, the transfer voltage, anywhere from 17,000 to 25,000 volts.
Correct.
Comes in. It steps down to 240 volts coming into your house.
Correct.
If you backfeed it into that 240 volt input, you're feeding 120 volts into it or so, it's going to kick it back up to thousands and thousands of volts. Now, when that comes tumbling down, the power line comes tumbling down, there's not a whole lot to protect anybody on the ground from that.
That is correct. It's a danger to the linemen who are out there doing the repair work. It is a danger to any firefighters that may be out. It is a danger to anyone that is out and on the roads during this time frame.
So just forget about it. If you're going to use a generator, a portable generator, just plug in your freezers, your refrigerators, and alternate those, because you probably don't have enough power in your generator to supply all of them at one time. Spend a couple hours on this freezer, a couple hours on the refrigerator, and then keep the doors closed.
Correct.
And beginning tomorrow, today if you want to, but if you've got any spare space in your freezers, it's going to be at the top. Put many water bottles as you can in there. Freeze them hard. Cold goes down. It will protect all the rest of your stuff down below when the power goes out. And you'll also have drinking water that's cold.
That's correct.
So
I have a question.
Shoot.
Is the county at this moment considering opening any shelters?
We have a discussion later today with the school systems, the municipalities in regards to that. Now, I will talk about what our previous stances have been in regards to sheltering. A lot of times we have never opened our shelters unless we are reaching hurricane strength winds in this area. So I can say typically we have not, for the way this storm is coming in, for the level of storm, but we do have conversations that we're having later today with our partners in regards to that. I can also say that, at this point in time, no decisions have been made on schools.
Gotcha.
Those will be coming on later. One of the things I always tell people is, one, stay up to date on the weather forecast, because these forecasts can change. Everything that we have talked about in the last 10 minutes can change here in the near future as the next storm predictions come out.
Between now and 8 o'clock.
That's correct. So, as well as more information will be coming from municipalities, no matter where you live, keep up to date with the information come out, because we have to change as we get more information on these storms.
Now, I want to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about the possibilities of evacuation, particularly along our coastline area and low-lying areas, mobile homes and all of that sort of stuff, when you will make that decision and how will you make that decision. You're live in local Real Talk for Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME. We'll be right back.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Coastal Bank and Trust thanks you for allowing us the privilege of handling all your banking needs, including personal and commercial loans to mortgage services. With locations in Jacksonville, Holly Ridge, Richlands, and Morehead City, Coastal Bank and Trust truly is a community bank dedicated to those we serve and is proud to be a part of the continued growth of Onslow, Carteret, and surrounding counties, and looks forward to meeting you. Thank you for voting us the best of the best 5 years in a row. FDIC insured and an equal housing lender.
If you love ocean pier fishing, the Seaview Pier Motel and Restaurant located at mile marker 18, North Topsail Beach is the place for you. The Seaview Pier is a family pier complete with bait and tackle shop, rod and reel rentals, and accessories. The restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner and features a complete menu from burgers to ocean fresh seafood, straight to you from the briny blue. With the Seaview Motel right next door and the most affordable rates on the coast, you can make it a vacation or a weekend of Carolina pier fishing. It's all here, including the fish. The Seaview Pier Motel and Restaurant, mile marker 18, North Topsail Beach, across the bridge, just south from Seas Ferry. To find out what's biting or for motel reservations, call anytime, 910-328-3172.
Modern Exterminating 627 College Street, Jacksonville has proudly been serving the pest control needs of Onslow and surrounding counties since 1952. That's 70 years of protecting the health and property of our citizens from rodents, termites, mosquitoes, and all other pests. Modern Exterminating offers inspection without obligation. Being authorized to serve government quarters, Modern Exterminating takes this opportunity to thank those who serve and allowing us to handle all your pest control needs. If what they use don't zap them, they'll trap them. And if you're not satisfied, they'll step on them. The bug stops here. Modern Exterminating, family owned and operated since 1952. Call today, 910-455-5122. That's 910-455-5122 for Modern Exterminating.
Hi guys, it's Lisa, the Queen of Diamonds from Bryn Mawr Jewelers in Jacksonville. Are you looking for a ring for the perfect girl? We have hundreds of rings in our beautiful showroom. Want a ring as unique as your girl? Then we'll custom design a ring especially for you. Not sure if you want lab-grown diamonds or an earth mine diamond? No problem. We'll take the time to explain the difference. We guarantee to find a diamond as exceptional as your girl. We hand select every diamond that comes into our store, and it has to be a sparkling fireball to make it in our showcase. Our long-standing relationships in the industry guarantees you to get a price on the highest quality diamond. We offer custom financing so that The ring of her dreams. We have rings for every budget and a vast selection of loose diamonds. So I invite you to come visit us today at Bryn Mawr Jewelers in Jacksonville. The Lutz family has been a part of thousands of I Do's for over 72 years. Nobody does I Do like we do. Come see why we're Jacksonville's oldest family jeweler.
Bryn Mawr Jewelers, next to Sam's Club Jacksonville.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And good morning for those of you just joining us. We have in the studio, we have a guest, Norman Bryson from County Emergency Management. You are the official coordinator, director.
Yes, sir.
Chief cook and bottle washer.
So, it's always one of those things that they add more slashes to your name.
Yep.
Emergency Services Director / Emergency Manager / Janitor sometimes, whatever it may be.
We think about hurricanes and people having to get up and leave, especially those people along the barrier islands like Topsail, North Topsail, Surf City, the whole Topsail Beach area, Emerald Isle, all of these areas. Potential in Onslow County for evacuation. When do you make that call? And under what conditions do you make that call?
So first and foremost, I want to talk about the legality of making that call. So the emergency manager does not have the ability to make those declarations. We make recommendations to organizations.
County officials.
So the County Board of Commissioners has the authority over the unincorporated areas of the county.
Right.
And the way the state laws are written, the municipalities, their board of aldermen, their boards of commissioners, whatever they may be, have the deciding factor for those municipal areas. So in the state of North Carolina, it goes down to the lowest forms of government is the ones who has that overall. The governor can pull a trigger and do it himself if he chose to do so, but for the most part, it is left down to the local areas, the county commissioners, and those boards.
And they have to do it with enough advance notice so people can get their mess together and get out.
That's correct. And the other thing that I would say to that is when they're making the decision, it is also based on the information that they have for those areas. So, and let's go back a few years back to Florence.
Yeah.
So back then, the Board of Commissioners had to make the decision because if we were going to do a mass evacuation of the county, which that point in time, by any records we have, is the first time our Board of Commissioners has ever done a mandatory evacuation of the county, was during Hurricane Florence. They had to do it in a timely enough, which was, I believe they ordered that on the Monday and the storm hit on Thursday, to be able to get the notice out, to be able to get people on the buses, because we had 900 and some people that we carried out on school buses to other communities to get them out of our area. Now, we are not looking at a Florence type situation with the oncoming of Adelia, but, what are we looking for? Do I expect a massive, I would say this, do I expect a mass evacuation notice for our county? No. We may have something for North Topsail, and I say that as a may because that is up to their board, especially with the king tides we're having with the storm surge. We may see something for the beach areas, but for the most part, I don't expect it for the whole of Onslow County, to be honest with you, because again, we're not talking about hurricane strength winds and effects. So we are, like I said, a lot of rain, but it's not the most rain we've ever seen.
Not 31 inches.
It is not 31 inches. And again, I would say that, most of the times when we have really significant flooding problems, it has to get, above 10 inches or so. With this, we will see some flooding in our localized areas. And when I mean localized, low-lying areas, we're talking about those low bridges on the roadways, areas where the water does not run off well. I mean, our people in our community, if you've been here for long, you know where some of these communities are because you drive the roadways on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, what am I talking about? Gum Branch Road will be an issue. Yes. We could see some areas around 258 around Bakers. Highway 17 generally stays pretty good and fairly well open, but a lot of our secondary roads where you have the bridges that come down to the streams, we could see some flooding in around those areas. And if we have roadways that the drainage is poor and doesn't flow well, that's where some of the places we could see ponding on roadways.
Yeah. And if you have to be out during any of these rains, please, if you can read the license plate of the car in front of you, you're too close. Get away, back off, stay away, and slow down.
Yeah, it takes a lot more distance.
Yesterday,
to stop.
I left from here and drove to Wilmington. It had a torrential rainstorm, localized. But on the bypass, I'm running 45, 50 miles an hour, and I had cars going by me. And of course, I was radar certified. I used to be able to run. I knew what traffic is. They were running 70 miles an hour. I'm like, really? Would you hit that puddle? Just stay away from me. Like, you're going to hit the puddle sooner or later.
So there's one other problem that we see a lot here in Onslow County. I mean, we have a lot of wrecks here in this county, and we have to do a lot of detouring of traffic and move people around. And one of the comments that we get from a lot of people is they know one way to go back and forth to work. They don't know a lot of the area. They don't know how to drive from one place to another. And that is a great thing is, learn to know your area and other ways to get home than just one way. And we get a lot of those comments on the roadways when we're trying to direct traffic is, I don't know how to go any other way than the way I go on a regular basis.
Anytime I've been in a new area, sometime late at night when there's no traffic, I get around in those days I had a road map. I'd get around and drive all over it. So I'd learn where I was and how to go from point A to point B, sometimes by way of point Z.
When I was a young man, I was always not afraid just to take a right turn because there was a right turn there just to see where it went. Now,
I've done that too.
Gas prices were not what they were when I was a young man or what they are today, but I rode the roads a little bit. I didn't mind seeing something I've never seen before, just riding the roads.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Let's take a quick break. And we'll talk about evacuations of the beaches themselves in case it happens. And at some point in time, there will be a point in time, likely with this storm, that they won't be able to leave the island because the bridges are going to be closed, right?
That'll be correct.
You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more from your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly stores, where good things cost less. The Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. How about a family pack T-bone steak package? It's $9.99 a pound. Whole bottom round is only $2.99 a pound. Whole boneless pork loin, $1.99 a pound. Bone-in sirloin chops, just $1.49 a pound. Boneless fried breast is $1.59 a pound, and split fried breast just $2.29 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm Chicken. Over in produce, juicy yellow peaches, just $1.99 a pound. Plums or nectarines are just $1.99 a pound. Red or white seedless grapes are just $1.99 a pound. Jumbo green bell peppers, 99 cents a pound. Ruby grape tomatoes are $1.99 a pound. Crisp green cabbage is only 59 cents a pound. And North Carolina grown yellow or zucchini squash, just $1.99 a pound. Seems like everything's $1.99 a pound at your Piggly Wiggly store, which means they save you money. And you get 2 8-packs of Coke or Sprite for just $9. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, down the street, where good things cost less on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Remember, save with the P.
Attention property owners, are you fed up with bad tenants, under market rents, and late payments? At Fountain Management, we provide unrivaled levels of expertise and all the tools and services you need to make owning a rental property easy. Are you ready to talk about taking the management of your real estate investment to the next level? Well, contact us today. Fountain Management, 910-455-1609. We will make owning your rental property simple and rewarding.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986.
Down East is your local Bryant factory authorized dealer. Down East, Bryant, whatever it takes to keep you cool.
Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986. DownEastHeating.com.
Need service on your present cooling system? Just call Down East. Looking to replace your cooling system in your home or office? Down East and Bryant is ready to do whatever it takes to keep you cool on these hot summer days. Ask about 0% interest for 60 months. Down East, Bryant, whatever it takes.
Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986. DownEastHeating.com.
When vacationing on our beautiful Crystal Coast, you come for the slower pace, the gentle waves, the salty air, and the quality time with family and friends. So while you enjoy a little piece of paradise, let the Barrow Low Country Kitchen help with meals. We'd love to cater your next family event with one of our Carolina-style seafood boils, enough to feed your entire crew. Or enjoy your meal outside at our pavilion on the waterfront. Come by land or by boat to the Barrow Low Country Kitchen in downtown Swansboro.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, Norm, question. Down at the beaches, that's generally one of the areas you expect are going to be evacuated if any place has to be evacuated early, right?
Right.
People need to get off. If you tell them to leave the beach, it's that time they should probably be packed up and ready to go.
That's correct. You know, as we've mentioned several times, the beaches are some of the highest prone areas of risk and hazard during a storm like this. And at some point in time, you know, we talk about the wind. So we're looking at least 10 to 12 hours of above 39 mile an hour sustained winds for 10 to 12 hours with this storm, looking at the current predictions that we're looking at.
Right.
Whereas you look at, there's only two ways to get off of the island, which is North Topsail, Topsail Beach, the whole Topsail. And those are across, both of those are high-rise bridges.
Yep.
And people may not realize this, but as you go up in altitude, winds increase with these type storms. I mean, we've seen it in studies back from Katrina, that the higher you went up in the altitudes, the higher the wind gusts were. So the same thing. And I was telling a story during the 2004, 2005. We had a through Onslow County, and we're talking, I think the max winds were 60 miles an hour or sustained. And there was a tractor trailer going over the top of the bridge, and at the top of the bridge, it blew the tractor trailer over on its side. And of course, the road was shut down.
One and done.
And, you know, those are top wind speeds we're talking about. We could be potentially seeing gusts and stuff to those levels. So at some point in time, that bridge may become closed. And if you decide, well, I'm going to stay on the island and last this out, you may or may not have the abilities to get back over across that bridge at that point in time. That decision has not been made, but looking at past experiences, there's a high probability, because a lot of times around 45 mile an hour sustained winds, they will close those bridges.
Yes, and they'll have law enforcement there, and they will shut her down.
Yep.
So you won't be able to go across. And a lot of you guys with these nice little light vehicles, I wouldn't want to be driving across that bridge.
No, and I hate to say something, and it's probably not politically correct, but
we do that all the time.
Storms like this is not the best for electric vehicles either.
Nope.
Several years ago, we had a flash flood that came into Onslow County. We had one area that there was probably 18 inches of water standing in the roadway. Electric vehicle drove through it. It fried the electrical system. They couldn't unlock the doors. They couldn't roll down the windows of the vehicle. They were pretty much entrapped into the vehicle at that point in time. So those electric vehicles do not do good in high water as
How
well.
high is the water, Daddy?
That's
5
scary.
feet high and
Yes.
rising.
Yeah.
You've heard the song.
Yeah.
And let me tell you a little bit in addition to that. Those vehicles are powered with lithium batteries. Water and lithium batteries do not mix well at all. They may as well have fire and gasoline.
So be careful.
Have a mess.
Might want to park the electric vehicle during the storm. So
Yeah, somewhere up high. Bring it in your house.
On ramps in your garage.
Somewhere. Norman, thank you. And hopefully this would just pass and stay offshore. We're waiting for the 8 o'clock advisory, so we'll know something a little bit more shortly. But the key is going to be tomorrow.
it will be. And of course, I want to end on the note of reminding everyone, please keep up with the weather forecast, because this storm, from what we've talked about today, the predictions, the forecast can change. We may get better conditions or worse conditions. And please keep up with your local governmental entities for any information that they may be posting regarding to storm preparation or events that may be occurring.
National Weather Service, National Hurricane Service will tell you what the broad picture is. Your local government's going to tell you what you better be doing and how to remain safe.
Now, the one thing I will also say at the end of this is to anyone, don't wait for government to come out and save you. Take actions for yourself to make sure you and your family are taken care of.
Good point. Very good point.
Good point. Yes.
Okay, Norman Bryson, thank you, sir. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back on the other side of Fox News and see what they're saying is going on in the rest of the world. Then we'll be back to tell you what our version is. You're live and local Real Talk Freedom 97.1 and 1120 AM WSME.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Now it's Hurricane Idalia gathering power in the warm Gulf of Mexico.
The storm is then forecast to make landfall along Florida's Big Bend Wednesday morning as a major hurricane. And the 5 o'clock advisory, the National Hurricane Center nudged the track a little bit to the west.
Florida's governor warning of a Cat 3 plus storm with a 9-foot storm surge enough to swamp a one-story house. Barrier Islands evacuating. Tampa Airport closed. Interior Florida up to Georgia and the Carolinas advised to prepare for 5 to 9 inches of rain. Former President Trump ordered to court for his federal election trial in D.C. the day before Super Tuesday. He still holds a 38-point lead over Ron DeSantis in the 24 race. President Biden will encourage Americans to take a new COVID shot this fall. Updated vaccines will roll out mid-September, still need approval. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Always good to have a guy like Norm and on your side during systems like this. Get advance notice of what's going to happen. Norm's a good guy. Norm Bryson, Emergency Management.
He knows his job well.
He does. He's
He
had
does.
experience. I'm looking at the path of Idalia, which the National Hurricane Center has just put out an updated version. And it looks like the center of mass is going to be slightly further offshore than it was at 5 o'clock this morning. And that's going to be at 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon, and that'll be around the Cape Fear region. Cape Fear is not a location, it's a region. So there's no such thing as Cape Fear, North Carolina. But which we're going to be about 60 miles to the north of that area. So we should be, if this path holds true, Onslow County should be about 60 miles north and on the better side, the less worse side of what will be tropical storm Idalia at that time. So that's making me feel a little bit better. Earlier,
But that's not to let people think that we're not going to get any rain.
No, we're going to get rain. We're going to get rain.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about the wind and all that sort of good stuff too. We're going to get rain. We're
And
going to get
people need
lots of
to
rain.
heed the rain that we're going to get, because we're going to get a lot of it.
You're going to get
Stay off the roads if you have to.
Yes, please.
And if you don't have to be out, don't.
And I can't think of a reason you have to be out during this.
I would
Okay?
strongly suspect.
It's still
if
showing.
school's not canceled, I'll be shocked.
We could still get up to 10 inches according to their latest
Yeah,
chart.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
if
over
you
the
don't have
whole
to be out,
time
don't.
Right.
From tomorrow through the end of
Exactly,
Thursday.
yes.
So So for 24 hours, we could get 8 to 10 inches. Could. Hopefully we won't, but that's an accumulation. We're kind of blessed. Well, we're not kind of. We are blessed in this area that we have the New River here too, that goes from one end of Onslow County all the way to the Atlantic Ocean, and that's a good dumping ground. That's good. That's also bad. A lot of stuff from upriver, from all these areas where all these little swampy areas throughout the region, all of that water it'll accumulate, it will stockpile itself, and then over the next few days, after this storm goes away, that water is going to still be coming down river. It's also going to be bringing a lot of debris, dead trees, whatever is trash that's been upriver, logs, all that kind of crap's going to come down the river. So therefore, as boaters, you're going to need to be aware of that as well. Be careful.
Yep.
There's still, we find utility poles, old ones, that have floated down from upriver somewhere. We find those in the river. We've got several at the at Tideline Marine that we pulled out of the river just to get them away from boats. Those things will be low lying in the water. So on Friday, after this thing goes away, this will go away on Thursday. But on Friday, don't go jump in your boat thinking you're going to just be running 80 miles an hour up down the river, because
people do
this
it, but
stuff's going to
no.
be, and your boat's going to sink.
Don't do it, people.
So
Don't do it.
Be very careful out there. Medicine, make sure you do have, in case, there's the likelihood of a lot of power outage for this one. Okay. But for you locals like me and for like next door and across the street, we have individual lines coming to our houses from the transformers outside. That's great. Except that if my local line serving only my house goes down because a tree limb falls across it, who do you think they're going to send crews to first? Me or the power line that says main line that's serving 5,000 people?
The main line.
Yep. I may be without power for days because they may not be able to get to it. Probably not going to be the case in this situation. And I also have most of my lines are now underground. Thank goodness. For Jones Onslow this summer.
A lot of it depends, because when we had that rainstorm 2 weeks ago, and it was just a simple rainstorm, we lost power at the office. So it does happen.
It will happen.
And this is going to be a lot more wind than what we had a couple weeks ago.
It will.
So I mean, don't be lulled into not doing anything.
Yeah.
I think
just be prepared.
Prepare.
Have you some food on hand, because there's nothing that goes better when the power is out than having something to eat that's warm. Now, how are you going to heat it up?
On a grill.
Yeah. You guys got grills or whatever you've got. You got some gas powered grills, or like me, I've got this little single burner butane stove. It cost me $12.
I have about everything you can imagine.
And those little camping type
eat.
stove. Yeah, I will
Won't
too.
be a problem there.
And I'm also lucky for a couple of respects here. Pre-planning, perhaps. I've got a gas stove up there. That's what I use. Mr. Biden, listen up. I've got a gas stove. I've got a gas water heater.
Yes.
But I've also got a 24,000 watt generator out back.
Yes, I would say you are prepared.
I hope so. And hopefully I don't need it. I hope this will just be effort and futility. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Chris.
Give you an 8 o'clock update in case you haven't gotten it.
No, we just talked about
Just
it.
got it a little bit.
Yep. Just got it.
Specifically for our area. Right now, the storm's moving a little farther west or south. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to get about 46 inches of rain. A couple areas might get 8 to 10, but 46 inches of rain. And you've been mentioning Rayford, and we've been tracking these for years and years and years, 40 plus for me.
Yep.
We're on the western side of it, so we're on the good side, if there is a good side.
The less worse side.
Less worse.
Yeah. But having also been in the cable industry for 30, people need to understand this too when it comes to their cable and the internet. if their power goes down, they don't have a generator, more than likely, that cable's going to be going off. And they don't respond until after the power companies get their work done. That's
No need to. Yeah.
And so, you can go ahead and call if you want, but give the power companies time for them to do their job safely.
Yes.
And just everybody, we've been through it before. This isn't going to be the worst one we've ever had, but we're on the good side of it.
Yeah, we are. Speaking of cable and the power and all that sort of good stuff, let's talk about telephones for a minute. Everybody's got a cell phone these days instead of landlines. I've got both. But the problem is the cell phone towers, they will be inundated, loaded up with people who want to get on there and chit chat. Now, the problem with that is when you try to make a call and everybody's at home talking to Aunt Bessie and wherever she is and spending 30 minutes on the phone, you just tied up one of those availabilities. And when you multiply that by, and I've been in those situations with cell phones, you can't get through. It's not because the tower's down, it's because it's loaded with people making calls. They cannot handle but so many calls at a time. So you may have to wait. So when you get on there to check on Aunt Bessie, please say, Aunt Bessie, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Okay, good. Thank you. If you need me, call me. Goodbye.
Yes, that's very true. And a lot of the towers nowadays are powered by fiber from cable operators.
Uh-huh.
And so if a fiber line is cut, that's going to delay getting things back up.
It
but
will.
everyone just needs to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other thing that you and the ladies may have already talked about is the rush to the grocery stores. Buy all the bread, buy all the milk.
You need to do that today. Go ahead, buy it all. Empty those shelves out.
Empty them out, but keep in mind this: if you don't have a lot of freezer space or anything, you better figure out a way to keep it cold.
Yeah.
And I like your idea about the freezer with the ice water bottles and keeping things colder under the bottom.
Yep.
Under the bottom, but unlike the people in Tampa, and I have a relative in Ruskin that's just 20 miles south of it, of where it's supposed to strike. He's going into Winter Haven now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these islands, especially where it's Cedar Key, where they're anticipating for it now to do it, to make landfall. Those people need to be prepared to be cut off for about a week from everybody.
Yep.
We're not in that position, thank the good Lord, but it's a good time to practice on this one for anything that may in the future come our way. And I appreciate what y'all have been talking, Norman coming on there and items like that.
Yeah.
But, just use common sense, and like you said, no one should be on the roads during the big heavy rainstorms. Let the emergency vehicles do their job.
Yes.
Please.
And if you are new to the area, and I know there are a lot of newcomers here, like that every year. I mean, we've got people transferred in here, right? They've never been through a storm. You've heard all sorts of stories, horror stories. You've watched it on TV, perhaps from afar. Talk to some people around you. If you see your neighbors and they've been around this area for the last 50 years, you see them packing up their station wagon or their SUV or whatever you pack up these days, you might want to follow suit. Okay?
Yeah, you should. Yeah. And the other thing, I don't want to end on negative note, but one thing that really does bother me, yesterday I was going over to visit my mother at the facility she stays at. Gas was $3.30. 15 minutes later, it was $3.59.
Yep.
People come to expect it. Okay, they're gonna. These things happen. Although there's no refineries that I can recall in
there are
Florida.
None in Florida. Well, they're not doing. People are doing it locally because they have the opportunity to make some money.
Well, okay, I'm glad you said it, and I didn't.
That's a fact, Jack. I know that. I know what they're doing. Watched it happen.
And and just follow local radio with your show, going over what y'all giving good advice. People take it, sit back, relax. It'll be gone by Friday sometime.
Yeah, just take a chill pill and everything will be fine. Go cook some soup or something.
Or y'all be safe and
All right.
have a blessed
Hey,
day.
Chris, appreciate it, sir. Okay, we'll see. I've got the advisor here, so we'll go ahead and go into weather, or take a break and go into weather, and we'll talk a little bit about it. There's not a whole lot of change in the forecast or in the path, but just a slight jog to the south from where they originally thought as it approaches our area, which will be okay. It'll make us in less worse shape. If you want to chat, if you've never been through a storm before, you've got questions, now is the time to ask them. 910-333-0139. We're not experts, we're just experienced. You're live and local real talk. What?
Yes,
You like that?
We're definitely experienced.
You're live and local real talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you optimize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. And everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate. 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville. Open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Since 1997, locally owned and operated Jersey Mike's, 301E Western Boulevard right here in Jacksonville, has provided only the best hot and cold subs and healthy salads to our community and our military neighbors, and thanks all our customers for making Jersey Mike's a sub above. Jersey Mike's features hot and cold subs in different sizes, served Mike's way or your way, in addition to delicious, healthy salads. To place your order or for takeout, phone 910-353-8091. Once again, Sam Duran and the staff of Jersey Mike's, 301E Western Boulevard, Jacksonville, thanks you for making them a sub above.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
All right, for the full 8 a.m. Forecast here for Hurricane Idalia, now with sustained winds of about 100 miles per hour, expected to increase before making landfall over Florida, over the northwestern part of Florida, the coast there on the west coast, up to maybe 120 mile per hour winds. It's moving forward at 14 miles per hour. That's not conducive for increasing the wind speeds and increasing the strength. The faster it goes, generally, the less intense it gets to be. Won't build up any bigger. Radar data from western Cuba indicates that Idalia is becoming better organized, though. Most of an eye wall has formed, with much more curvature in the banding features and overall radar pattern. Satellites indicate the center of Idalia firmly within the central dense overcast. So that's where the eye is. It's hard to see it at times on radar, but they pretty well got it pinpointed. It's accelerating northward, as I said, and now moving at about 9 knots, they say, as of the 8 o'clock forecast I'm getting. That's about 12 miles an hour, something like that. Should move faster to the north or northeast through landfall on Wednesday between mid-level ridging over Florida and a trough dropping into the western Gulf of Mexico. There's been a westward shift in the model guidance overnight. I don't like that, but anyway, it's still, once it turns towards the northeast, I will feel a whole lot better. There's danger of life-threatening storm surge along portions of the Florida Gulf Coast where a storm surge warning is in effect. That includes Tampa Bay and the Big Bend region of Florida. Hurricane conditions are expected within portions of the hurricane warning area along the Florida Gulf Coast, with the potential for destructive winds where the core of Idalia moves onshore. Strong winds will also spread inland across portions of northeastern Florida during the track of the center of Idalia. Heavy rainfall, and this is what we're going to expect across Georgia, South Carolina, and into North Carolina as that storm moves towards probably in the Charleston area, and that will when it will leave the shore.
Yes.
And up parallel with the coast, because that's a northeastward coast there, way up to the Cape Fear region, and it's anticipated right now that it will start turning more towards the east around Cape Fear. That will put us on the less worse side of the storm. That's good. We're about 60, 70 miles from that location where it will pass closest to us. That's good. Happy to hear that. Franklin, it's out there and it's still going towards the northeast now, and it's still a major hurricane, downgraded just a bit down to 130 mile per hour sustained winds, but it's will be approaching Bermuda, will stay to the west of Bermuda. Bermuda will be on the bad side of the storm sometime Wednesday. That's the Wednesday morning early. So that's bad for Bermuda. Don't like that. No. Don't like it for them. Hate it for them. A weak front will meander across our region through midweek tomorrow and Thursday and produce wet, unsettled weather across eastern North Carolina. Seas will build up due to the long period swells from distant Hurricane Franklin. We talked about that earlier. Those seas are generated, even though it's going to be 300, 400, 500 miles from us, they're generated there and they start moving towards land, start moving in our direction, and they will build as they move towards us. That's going to be the impact that we're going to be having here. Before the week's end, we should be given the all clear. That's when you should be heading down to Tideline Marine. Yep. Go down and get yourself a boat for all of your fishing and boating needs and wants. Tideline. That's a frog if I've ever had one. Tideline is your one-stop shopping opportunity in Jacksonville with a full-service marina, a ship store, and a repair center for Yamaha, Mercury, along with Johnson and Evinrude outboard engines. Tideline is standing by to serve you. If the old motor you've got just is not going to get up and do it anymore, if it's done, get rid of it, get a new one. It's time to repower. Or if you just want to get a bigger boat, you can do that too. If you want to get a smaller boat, sometimes as you get older, you may say, you know what, I just don't need that big old yacht that I got out there. I can have a lot more fun with the fishing boat. Tideline's got those available for you as well. A line of Aloha Tri-Tune pontoon style boats, some nearshore and offshore center console aqua sports, along with the famous Lund aluminum fishing boats. They're in stock right now. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Don't forget, if you've been thinking of adding a trolling motor to your boat or just replacing the old one that you have now. Any Minn Kota trolling motor in stock is yours at a savings of $100 until the end of August. Small craft advisory in effect from today through tomorrow. That's likely going to become a warning Wednesday night or Thursday. Today, northerly winds 5 to 10, becoming southeasterly in the afternoon, seas 5 to 8, except 4 to 6 near shore. Dominant period 12 seconds, sounds and rivers a light chop. Southwesterly winds tomorrow, 5 to 10, seas 4 to 6, dominant period 12 seconds. I can expect the seas to probably pick up a little bit tomorrow afternoon. Thursday, tropical storm conditions. That's just the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. Today, partly sunny. It looks sunny to me out there. High of 90 with our heat index as high as 101, so be safe outside. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 74. Tomorrow, it's going to start off mostly cloudy with a high of 85, and then after 2 p.m., the showers and thunderstorms start. Tomorrow, it's interesting. Showers and thunderstorms, some storms that could heavy rainfall. Low of 72, winds as high as 16 miles an hour, but I suspect maybe a little higher. And rainfall amounts tomorrow night between 3 and 4 inches, which can make our roadways dangerous, so be careful. On Thursday, flat out rain, wind, thunderstorms all day long, gusty, and additional 1 to 2 inches as of now. It could go up or down. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, low of 65, and okay, it's
Thursday night, 65.
Yeah, that's what it
Oh.
says. And still showers and thunderstorms between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. Then on Friday, though, sunny, 80. I like it.
I know. It's going to be a nice day.
It's going to be a nice
You know,
weekend.
a lot of times after a storm like this,
Yeah, it does.
you wake up the next morning, the sky is
It feels
blue,
amazing,
the
yeah.
waves have come down. It's just looking really pretty out there. Be careful. Don't go around sightseeing. You just don't know what's going to be out there in the roadway. And, you know, I hate to mention this thing, but there are some crawly creatures that come up from low-lying areas
Here we go.
when it rains a lot. Copperheads
It's true.
and water moccasins. And so be careful and watch your pets during this time too, because those critters, those crawly critters might not know that you've got pets, because pets
That's
generally
right.
keep them at bay, keep them scared away. But they will strike at a dog or a cat
I
outside.
just got a text from a friend
Mhm.
who said he was busy
Wish I had
outside cleaning up his yard and, moving stuff around
Tell them to come
for
on
the
over.
impending storm. And, I have seen, and I'm sure you've seen it too, Kelly, people that never, we have a hurricane coming. I've seen them never pick up a thing out of their yard.
That stuff blows.
Trampolines
Yeah.
will blow.
Yeah.
And
Garbage cans.
Garbage cans.
Tie them to a tree or put them in the garage or
mine in
do
the garage.
something.
I do
Mine
too.
out back.
Potted plants that are just sitting there. Those light
Umbrellas
ones.
like Robbie
Umbrellas,
has out
yes.
here all over the porch, the deck
Yes.
out here. We got them several places around the
All
area.
your little yard decorations that are just one
Yeah.
of the, you just stick them in the ground or
I
whatever.
gotta
Yeah.
take mine up.
Yep.
So,
So,
yeah, I'm going to take all mine up because just, to be cautious and
Yeah, well, that's the best thing. That way
That's-
you go and
It's
put
going to
them
be
back
nice
out
enough this
afterwards.
weekend. You can go put them back out there and get
That's
some
right,
sun. I mean, it's not
right.
going to hurt you.
And hopefully this will be the only storm that we have, the closest contact that we'll have.
right.
I wouldn't bet on that, Rayford. But
I said hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hey, Timmy, you on the road?
I am hucking and bucking, baby.
On the road again.
On the road again. I'm
That's
running
so
around
right.
naked underneath my clothes. I am on the road.
Yeah, well, good.
Lord
Get
have
'em.
mercy.
Glad to hear
They
that.
are finishing. Yeah, they're finishing up the trestle over on White Oak River, so
Uh-huh.
they can lay the track on it now. So they get a little bit closer. So we're
Okay.
down there moving crane mats, and they're getting ready to move cranes. So we're running back and forth from Stella to Bowling Spring right now, hauling that. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
You headed for Boiling
Moving
Springs?
along. Well, no, I left Bowling Springs. I'm headed back to Stella to get another load.
Oh,
I
okay.
started out this morning about 5 o'clock
Wow.
when y'all was snoring.
Not me.
I was
not a
You
man.
know better.
I was
I was up at 5.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
what I called about, just, we're talking about potential hurricane and stuff like that. We're going to talk about animals, in particular cows, horses, goats, what have you, livestock. And I've said it before, folks, if you're listening, please by God, please, do not put your horse, cow, or goat in a barn. Please don't do that, because after Bertha, I was cutting horses out of barns.
Yeah.
And what happened? The wind would go into the barn and it would swell it up, and the roof would cave in.
Yep.
And there's your animals sitting in the barn. You can't even get them out. We had to take chainsaws and cut them out. So what we used to recommend, and we still recommend it, if you're worried about your horses, go take you some shoe polish, permanent shoe polish. Put them out in the pasture, and if you do not have a breakaway halter, take your halter off of them, because if they get to running and get flighty, and like I say, the way it's saying, this hurricane is not going to be bad for us, thank God. But take the halter off and paint your cell phone number on the side of your animal.
Huh. Okay. I was wondering where you were going with that.
I did too.
Me?
Yeah. And the reason we tell them to do that, if your service lines go out, your cable goes out, like you just said a while ago, they're not coming back up to electricity phone.
That's right.
Correct.
And these cell phone towers have generators. The
They
one
got
by
about
my house does.
24 hours worth at the most.
Yep. So if your animal gets lost and somebody happens to see it, they see the cell phone number, and if they have the availability, they can call you and you can come get your animal. And we used to recommend that for years and years and years. But people still want to put them in the barn, and please, by God, don't put them in the barn, because if that thing caves in, that roof will do that. That roof will swell right up, and the roof fall right in on it.
Uh-huh.
And that's my recommendation for it. And I just want to throw that little piece out. I don't think it's going to get that bad for that.
I don't think so either, but you better be prepared.
I mean, I'm looking at it. I got stuff prepared just in case. I'm going to be out in it after the storm because of my wife. She is USDA, and as soon as the storm's over and we can, she's got to go out and start crop damage. And they want them to do it as soon as possible. They want you to be safe about it, but you have to go out and assess crop damage, and I do the driving. But yeah.
Maybe she could come here and assess my crop damage in advance.
I will. I'll check your garden out, bud. I'll be glad to check your garden. Might sell me a motor or two while I'm out there.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. I had something the other day, I had a lady handed me. It's called a pickled green tomato.
A what?
Sliced up in a jar. A pickled green tomato. It was good.
Green tomatoes.
She took green tomatoes. Took them and sliced them up.
Uh-huh.
And she pickled them.
Uh-huh.
And that was good now.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed that.
No.
I thought I would have me a jar of that. I've never heard of it before in my life.
Well.
But yeah, something new every day.
Yeah.
I'm 62-year-old, still learning. So now that's what I had to throw out there. Y'all been doing a good job. Be safe. I know y'all wound up at the generator house. So be careful.
If
we
we
have
need
plenty
to.
of food. I won't blame you. Raver, I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing since sliced potatoes. I just can't put my mind to it right now. I'm hard-headed.
Well,
I got a generator.
Yeah.
And I don't plug it into the house
No,
either.
hope not.
I plug it straight. I plug it straight in. I'll plug it into the refrigerator. I'll plug it into the satellite. I'll plug it in. I got a window unit air conditioner that sits right there in the living room. And if the power goes out, we all hunker down in the living room, and that's where we stay.
There you go.
But yeah, that's it. But y'all be careful. And if you need me, if something happens, you need to holler.
Yeah.
Y'all
Okay.
got my number.
Yep. I need a tractor trailer rig or a big trailer. And somebody
I got one right here behind me right now, a little bit bigger than what you probably want.
Probably.
But yeah.
We're gonna need one in November.
You need something like a goose egg, don't you? About 16 feet long.
Oh, at least, yeah.
20
That'll
feet
be
long.
perfect.
You know what we want, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to him last week about
don't
that.
have my hands on one now, but I'll look around.
Yeah, they're out there somewhere. We'll find one. You'll find
there's
one.
plenty of them. Tell them Tell Tideline to start selling trailers. What the story was?
Yeah, well, we got boat trailers, but they won't work. They're hard to stand
Well,
on.
I know.
Yeah.
But you tell him to start selling utilities. He probably ain't got enough.
We
room
don't have
in
enough
there.
room
I
for
got
all that
about eight
stuff.
full.
My God.
He don't. He's got her crammed in there now.
Of course, we could put a big boat on the back and pull that,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that doesn't.
That's right.
match the theme.
Get one of them aloha. He can sponsor the float. Get one of them big aloha and get one of them aloha boats.
That's
That would be nice.
maybe if we still got them, maybe that's what we ought to do for the Christmas flotilla.
That would
Decorate
be a
one of
bad
those suckers.
idea.
I'll do it.
Decorate a what?
The
mean, if they
Aloha
12 in.
Tri-Tune. We can put about 8 or 10 people on it.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I think that what is it, 12 capacity on it? Man, that's nice.
thought it was.
But I'll have a PA system and lights, so 8 or 10 will be about it.
Yeah.
all
Oh
we
yeah.
need.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got it going on already.
There you go. All right,
Thank
Tim.
you.
All right,
Thank
y'all
you, sir.
be good. I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right, Rayford, I have some information for you. I did some
Go ahead.
little research on this suspect.
Oh yeah, up there at UNC.
Yes. So he got a BS in physics from Wuhan University.
Uh-huh.
In 2021, he graduated from LSU with his master's in material science. He's currently a second-year PhD student at UNC. He was in the lab there. But from what I've been reading, his English wasn't the greatest because he is not an American citizen. And supposedly the FBI is now involved because he is not an American citizen, which would make a lot of sense. But he wrote some things, which I've been sitting here reading this for the last 20 minutes, trying to wrap my head around it. And I am a fairly smart individual. And I know it's just a language barrier, so I'm going to read this to you. He wrote this in May. He tweets and posts a lot. These kind of people may be a good man, actually, but might not be a sincere friend. For a PhD student, pay much attention to working time every day is really childish. I know many people want me to show them working, but no, that's not human at all. I'm trying to figure out, first of all, what he's saying. There's that.
Weird.
Then he wrote the spelling was bad, but many counterintuitive situation in society. Minimum wage do harm instead to protect the poor. Gender quota is not to protect women, but to enhance the discrimination. I'm trying to figure out what he's saying there.
How did he pass any courses?
Apparently he's too smart for his own good. On July 31st of this year, he wrote, I would like to second-year PhD student interested in nanoparticle synthesis, optical trapping, self-assembly, spectra analysis, and ML. I don't even know what none of that is.
You just wasted all of your previous life, bud.
A bit stupid in daily trifles, very enthusiastic talking about research. Reach me if interest. I don't even know, but I don't know what nanoparticle synthesis is. It sounds like something you got to be really smart to do. And supposedly he was assigned to the Yan lab at UNC, and his advisor has a Chinese name. Now, whether that was his target, I don't know, but it's probably for the language thing. I don't know. But some of his other stuff, I'm not going to read a couple of them because he's mad at some female or something, called her a name and everything, and he wrote that in June. What is truth? Yeah, but then it's just rambling, and I think it's just partly because his English is just not that good.
Might be, but his mind is also rambling.
Rambling
It's scrambled,
and
it sounds like.
Just yikes. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to report that he is not a national, which I had heard that yesterday and saying that again. So, and they say he was very quiet and, quote, nice.
Scary.
It's what the students are saying. Yikes.
Scary. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full-color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
The Burrow Restaurant and Bar in Swansboro is hiring. We're currently looking for experienced line cooks and expos. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. The Burrow is open 7 days a week. Stop by for an application. Our sister restaurant, Il Cigno Italiano, is also hiring line cooks, expos, and bartenders. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. The Burrow Restaurant on Front Street and Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue, both in Swansboro.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for summer, and you should be too, with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. These lawn tractors are engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility. Each machine features a strong deck with a variety of sizes available, designed to deliver a premium cut. An assortment of attachments and accessories, sold separately, allow you to use your mower for more than just cutting grass. Stop by Mills International Incorporated today and find out how the Cub Cadet XT Endurance Series is tailored to help unlock all the possibilities of your lawn. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street for exceptional offers, expert advice, and superior service. Great Gas and Oil Company, and of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all. Gas, ice cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only carpet protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering. Family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And we're back here. And, our phone lines are open now. Kelly has taken her leave. She had another appointment here. She had said to go running out the door. 910-333-0139. And speaking of threes.
Yes.
Yes. You know what the three-way is, right?
Yes.
Well, if you're tired of the three-way.
We're talking traffic. Yes.
Oh, I thought she was. Well, never mind then. Now it's going to become a four-way at the intersection of Country Club Road and Old Folkestone. Now that's not here in Jacksonville. That's near Sneads Ferry.
Yes.
Got it? It's going to become effective tomorrow. You're going to have to stop in all directions. And then you're going to try to wait and hope that everybody there remembers who goes first. Who's on first? Who goes first? Who's whatever.
Said they did a safety review for the area, including crash data and traffic volumes, and determined that this area would benefit from a four-way stop.
Okay. I'm like, okay.
An all-way stop, yes.
When you're pulling up, you're at one corner and another guy's at the other corner at exactly the same time. Who goes first?
Person on the right.
Mm-hmm.
I encountered that the
I
other
encountered
day,
it every day.
and the person on the right would not go.
Yes, I know.
So I went. I waved at him as I went by to let him know thank you, but yeah, they just sat there, and I'm like,
Anyway,
okay.
that's what's happening there. The person on the right, if you get there at the same time, the first person there is the one who has the right of way.
Yes.
Now, who's going to determine who's there first? That's y'all gonna have to be careful. If you get there exactly at the same time and you're 90 degrees apart, then the one on the right will go first. How about if all four people get there at the same time?
Well, you know what really
It happens.
I determined is being a little crazy with this story. A safety review has
Yeah.
determined the area would benefit, but DOT urges drivers to be cautious.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to be cautious.
So be cautious,
Whatever.
but it's better. I don't know.
It's three
It
ways
just
and
leaves
four
to-
ways. And
I would rather DOT spend more time on painting lines that need to be painted on our roads and repairing some.
and putting some asphalt and not lump it up over top so it becomes a hump, but put some asphalt and smooth it out in those little places that got things called potholes. And we got lots of them.
Yes.
Democrat lawmakers who blame the recent wildfires in Hawaii on climate change are like, what did I say first? I should not have opened my mouth, and now they're not responding to calls.
Yeah, think.
Evidence is now showing that the main power company is responsible, down power lines, all sorts of stuff like that, failing to power down their electrical equipment despite a National Weather Service red flag warning on the 7th of August. That's what the county of Maui said in our press release last week. They left the power, with all the stuff that was going on, they left the grid empowered. I'll tell you something else about North Topsail and some of the other areas there. If it looks like things are going to go really south, like bad, the power company will kill your power in advance because they don't want
Yes.
lots of loose power lines around there. So that will happen if it's going to be bad. I'm just trying to give you some advance notice of what the possibilities are. Did you see the big story that kept popping up every time I opened up Fox News and one of the other online news services? Dolly Parton has rejected Kate Middleton's invitation to tea.
What?
Yeah, she said, I'm not going. And nobody's got it right as to why. Because they don't got no sweet iced tea there. And
Well,
that's what Dolly wants.
I think that sweet iced tea should be a national staple.
It is in the South.
It is, but only in the South.
I order it. I don't order sweet tea. I order
You
Southern.
go north and you go west.
I order Southern tea
Mhm.
without lemon.
Well, there you go. I prefer mine without lemon also.
Mhm. Let's take a break. 910-333-0139. You're live in local Real Talk. And don't go too far from your radio. We'll be right back.
Hurricane season is here, and if you're not prepared, now's the time to visit Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Moorhead Plaza in Moorhead City. Whether for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer, Williams Hardware has the tools and accessories to help protect against high winds and water. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies. Williams Hardware, your helpful, handy hardware store, also cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington Grill for Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Moorhead Plaza in Moorhead City. Williams Hardware is open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158, and be prepared this hurricane season.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call David Hall, State Farm, 910-455-0440, 1218 Country Club Road, Jacksonville.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. Jacksonville Heating Contractor Service Agreement. You never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843. If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
All right, we're back here for a couple more minutes. So if you want to chime in on whatever we're talking about today, or you've got some comments, you've got some concerns about this upcoming pending storm, feel free to call. If you've had some experience in the past, like big storms or whatever, feel free to give us a call. 910-333-0139.
I think the biggest thing about the storms in the past is they always came in at night.
Yeah, we've had
and that was just freaky.
Seemed to be that way, didn't it?
Because you didn't know what was flying around out there.
No,
you
did
hear
not.
stuff banging, stuff falling, and
Yeah.
you couldn't see.
A woman down there in Florida, she's dead, but she killed herself after she killed her two children.
Been a lot of that
Parent
lately.
murder suicide. She lost custody of her son, a 10-year-old kid, and so she shot him, shot her 19-year-old daughter from a different father before turning the gun on herself. Lived in a mobile home in Lake Wales. A judge had ordered her to surrender the son, the 10-year-old, to his father, who lives in Maine. The daughter had a different father and was not involved in the custody battle, but she shot her too. Shot and killed both of them.
There seems to be a lot of that lately. Families killing their families. and
What's
parents.
going on here?
It's
Her
really
photograph
sad.
she doesn't look like a lowlife or anything like that. She's, just there. It's just weird.
It is so sad. We were talking earlier about the Osprey that went down in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yep.
They've released the identity of the 3 people that were killed, and the pilot was a female, Captain Eleanor Bowe, 29, originally of Illinois, Corporal Spencer Collard, 21, from Arlington, Virginia, and Major Tobin Lewis, 37, from Jefferson, Colorado.
Oh, man.
Female pilot. Wow.
Yeah. A lawsuit had claimed that a transgender student in their organization, a sorority, dismissed by a federal judge on Friday. In March, several current and former members of the University of Wyoming's Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority sued the school to revoke the membership, allowing what as peeping transgender student Artemis Langford. Despite the women's descriptions of Langford's actions, the judge ruled that the school did not violate any policies by allowing the student to join. Okay, so they got this guy. He's joined a sorority, and several students had sued the school because they called him a peeping Tom because of him being allowed to be in the sorority. Where, I mean, I guess, I don't know, but I assume women in sororities living in houses, they run around half naked or
Well, I'm sure. Yes. Bunch
Or
of girls
whatever,
together. Yes. That would be normal.
so this guy, my scam he's got going. Just
scams.
Claims he's transgender, so he could join the sorority, and the school allowed it. You know, somebody somewhere has got to stand up and say this stuff is just not right.
He could just be portraying himself to be
absolutely.
transgender, so he could be in there with the scantily clothed ladies.
Yeah.
Shoo, say that again.
Almost naked.
Yes, the
Okay.
almost naked ladies. Yeah. When does it?
When are we going to get real in this country?
I mean, what are you supposed to do? Test someone to see how trans they really are versus just pretending to be trans?
I'm
It's
sorry,
ridiculous.
you know, put up or show up here, dude. That, and wow, too.
Yeah, well, for those traveling the next couple days on the East Coast, you might
Yeah.
want to keep a watch and
Yeah,
check about your travel
keep
plans.
listening, and we'll tell you. We'll bring you the latest, and if there's anything really major changing, we'll also post it on Facebook after
Yes,
the
yes, we will.
National Hurricane Center updates.
Rayford will stay right on it. And
Yeah,
we'll
I
make
keep
sure
watching
gets
it,
out.
and if
Right.
it's anything really sudden breaking, we'll really scream at you. And you asked me if we would. Probably won't have to in this case. For over the air, we'll talk with Hollywood just in case things happen and we need to get the. He can get them out, or we can get them out, whatever. I can get them out from wherever I am with the computer. So you know, we can do all of that. But at this point in time, there's probably nothing to worry about in that category. Tomorrow, we got Dr. Rose. We're going to be chatting with her.
Yes.
So we'll find out what's going on in her world. And we've got, who else we got?
Brigadier General retired Kevin Stewart. He is the CEO of the Museum of the Marines, and he's coming in with some great news.
Yeah, I saw a sign yesterday, a billboard up, said Museum of the Marine groundbreaking 2024.
Yes, coming up very soon.
So it's
the
coming
year.
up. Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be sometime next year. That's the plan right now. So we'll quiz the general about that.
Yes. He's coming in to tell us all about it and tell us about anything they have come up as far as fundraisers, et cetera, et
Yep.
cetera. You might want to still buy a brick and a lot of stuff.
Just don't throw it at me if you buy it. Okay.
No, I bought my dad one. It was just
Mhm.
before he passed because I thought it was important that he could see it while he was alive.
Sure.
And he never noticed, and I never noticed until after he passed away that they had spelled Marine wrong on the brick.
What?
They had two eyes in it.
No.
Yes. They said, we'll fix it. I said, no, I want to keep it just like it is.
Ooh.
My dad would have been so tickled over it. So, yeah.
That's like when the mints that put out coins and stuff like that.
Yes.
When they do a double die or they get something
Yeah.
wrong, they hit it twice, and
Yeah.
those become very valuable.
Yes,
Very
well,
quickly.
I treat it as a very important and valuable brick because
wonder
it's
how many
got
they
an
did
ear
that
on
way.
it. I don't know, but I didn't notice it for a long time, and then one day my sister and I were over there, and we got looking at it, and I said, "How do you spell marine?" and it is MARIINE.
Oh, my
But I
goodness.
like it. I like it.
Sounds good. All right. That'd be interesting. Okay, take a picture of that and put it up on Facebook. It'd be fun.
Yes.
All right. All right. We will see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. Well, it'll be early. I'm not sure how bright it will be tomorrow morning.
Be a little cloudy.
Pay attention to the weather. Stay tuned and heed the warnings of those who are in charge. Okay. And
Clean up your yard.
and yeah, there's a couple things you can do now. I'd go fill up my gas tank if I were you. And I would definitely clean up the yard, get some of those things that can become flying missiles
That's right.
just in case. Okay.
I don't think we're going to have a bad time of
No,
this. I
we
think
won't.
it's just going to be a messy storm, but I just want to be prepared in
never know.
case things turn bad.
All right. Coming up now, Fox News. And at 10 o'clock this morning, another dose of our daily D's. And at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Rick's going to hand it off to the one, the only. It's going to be Hollywood. The man
Jacksonville
will be
celebrity.
in the house. You're live and local Real Talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jackson.